Hey everyone, it's Rachel back with you, sporting a new look. I hope y'all like it. But yes, so today I'm covering a little bit of a different topic. Today I wanted to cover social anxiety and the role that it played in my transition, the role that it plays in my transition, because it's something that I deal with on a daily basis. Just the way that I deal with it and how it affects me has changed drastically. So social anxiety, it's something that I've struggled with, honestly, from a very early age. And pre-transition social anxiety and post-transition social anxiety are two very different things, at least for me. And I'll kind of explain that a little bit as we go along, but let me just start off by like the pre-transition. So pre-transition me was a very, very, very quiet, soft-spoken individual. Was extremely introverted, was one of those kids that would sit in the corner and speak when spoken to. I was afraid to have my voice heard, and in those situations where I was spoken to, where I was engaging in a conversation, I had a very, very, very difficult time maintaining eye contact. And that was just a coping mechanism, honestly. Like, I don't know. I wasn't confident in myself and who I was, and so it was intimidating to me, maintaining eye contact with a stranger while making my voice heard, was just something that I really, really, really struggled with. Also, one other big thing with my social anxiety, people always ask, I've been married, I'm divorced. People always ask me, hey, did your divorce, or did your transition end your divorce? Is that like the thing that ended the divorce? And no. I'll be real, if I, actually did come out as trans while I was married, before we had separated, that would have ended it. No question asked there. But that's not what ended my marriage when I was married. The big thing for me was pre-transition. My biggest flaw, honestly, my biggest flaw, I was a compulsive liar. I always hid the truth, whether it was something big like finances or something small like if I went out to eat that day, or if I had packed, or if I'd eaten the lunch that I had packed. Big things and small things. And I did that. Like, literally, it took a lot of soul searching and a lot of therapy to figure out why I did that. But it was because I was afraid of the confrontation. I feared the confrontation because at that point, I knew that I would have to make my voice heard. I'd have to stand up for myself. And I did not know how to do that because I was not comfortable in who I was. Now, that all changed when I started transitioning. When I started transitioning, that fear of confrontation dissipated away because I was actually confident and comfortable in who I am. Now, like I said, I still suffer from social anxiety to this day, but it's a very, very different kind of social anxiety. Now that social anxiety is, when I'm at work and my hair doesn't look just right, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, great, like my hair looks like trash. Does this guy that's sitting across a table from me at work know that I'm trans? Like, is that hair not sitting just right, bad enough that it's clocking me? Or what does that look like? What does that look like to him? And, it's very different, but that's literally my only tick of social anxiety anymore is getting clocked as trans by a complete stranger, because the world we live in isn't always kind to those in the LGBT plus community. So, I mean, two very different types of anxiety, but at the end of the day, it is still social anxiety. It is still something that I struggle with. And honestly, I would challenge you to find really any trans person that's never had that same issue. I'll say, as I've grown and as I've matured in my transition, that anxiety has gone away, because 98% of the time, 99% of the time, I pass in public spaces. I'm just more confident in who I am, which is the most important part. Like, if you transition, that's what I want you to get out of it, is confidence and comfortability in your own skin. Passing's great, but that's not the end goal. That shouldn't be the end goal. The end goal should be being comfortable in who you are. But, you know, just that confidence and that repetition for me, of going to Walmart, grabbing the milk, going to Ulta, getting refilled on my makeup, going to work day in and day out, going to the gym after work, has really helped me. Just that day in, day out repetition of living my daily life has helped me kind of cope with that social anxiety, because guess what? I still come home at the end of the day and everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm able to go to bed, I wake up, and I do it again the next morning. So, yeah, I mean, if you are struggling with social anxiety, whether you're pre-transition, you're in your transition, whether it's been, 2 months or whether it's been 12 years, I understand. I can empathize with that. And it's one of those things. Don't be afraid to speak out to, a paid professional about it. I had to do the exact same thing with my therapist, to kind of help diagnose some of my deeper rooted issues from that pre-transition state, and realize kind of why I was the way that I was, and how I can overcome that in this state, so that I'm a better person physically, mentally, and emotionally. Mental health obviously is something that I don't think gets talked about enough, but is absolutely paramount. It's the most important thing. I'm in the gym day in, day out, working on my body and getting physically fit, because you only have one body. But on that same token, you only have one brain. So that's all you're gonna get. So as much as, I work the physical, you gotta work the mental too. So don't be afraid to reach out for help. That's why we have therapists. That's what they are there for. You can hit me up on Instagram and try and talk through it with me. I will never gonna tell you no. But there's people that are probably better equipped professionally to do that than I am. But hey y'all, I know this has been a shorter video than what we normally do. This video here is about 10 minutes. Normally my videos are about 15, but I just felt that this was a really important topic to cover. So I wanted to get to that as soon as possible. Thanks to y'all. I have my next couple videos already planned out, which is amazing, and I love you for that. But I'm always looking for more ideas. So in the comments of this video, in the DMs of my Instagram, which is tagged below, please leave me some comments, messages, suggestions of content you want to see covered, because this channel is for y'all. It's for y'all, for me to share my experience with you. That being said, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all next week. Thank you. Love you. Bye.